Hi everyone, my name is Nikesh Chapai and I am here with you for around 1.5 hours. And in today's live session, we are basically talk about the pronouns in Portuguese, and we will also see some sentence structure. And while learning pronoun, we will try to understand the verbs, some verbs, and how we use verbs in European Portuguese. Okay, so that is what today's as a whole today's whole subject matter is, and I hope you will enjoy the session. And you are free to ask me questions. Normally at the end of the session we will have the question answer session as well, but however you can ask questions anytime as you like. And I would like to welcome all of you from different countries, right? I'm seeing from Gambia, from India, from Nepal, from Portugal here, and it is wonderful to see you guys. I would like to welcome you. Okay, let's see here first. Before to go, you can see here some sentences that looks like same, right? But they gives the meaning. They gives the meaning, and here from here we can understand that how the the pronouns works. What are the pronouns? Pronouns normally means that replaces the noun. If you see here, let me make the drawings. You see in the first, Ima é a professora. So in last session we talked about the nouns, right? We talk about the nouns and what are the masculine nouns, what are the feminine nouns, and why they are important in European Portuguese. So if you have a bit confused, I will talk about it here as well, but you can see my last live video as well. Okay, so here Ima é a professora, right? So here we see the name first. Let's see the sentence structure first, right? If you see the sentence structure here, we use the name. This is the proper noun in Portuguese, that is Ima. Ima is a name of a girl, or we can say name of a woman or whoever, and she is a teacher, right? So Ima, a, if you see a, this is the verb, and it is share verb. We will talk about it just after, maybe after some time here. And a is, which we already talk, a is an article in European Portuguese. And maybe if you remember, when there is a feminine noun we use article a, and when there is a masculine noun we use article u, right? You all are aware of this, hopefully. So if you see here, Ima é a professora. So professora means teacher in Portuguese, right? If it is, I mean, if the teacher is a woman, then we say professora, and for the male teacher we say professor. So here we are saying Ima é a professora. That means Ima is a teacher, right? A means verb, to be verb, that is a share verb, which we will talk shortly, or we will talk after some time. And I is an article, and professora is a noun, where we are using it as an object here, right? We are saying that Ima is a professor, right? Or Ima is the professor. So, and then in second we say ela. So ela means she in English, right? Ela vive em Lisboa. So if we see in this sentence, we use also the preposition I. Preposition I. So I means, you can say at, in, or on. In different cases we use I. So here we are saying ela vive em Lisboa. If you see here, this vive is also a verb. So when we make simple sentences in Portuguese, it's like English. We use the subject, right, and then verb and object. And if needed, we use prepositions, maybe adverbs or something like this, right? So here we are saying ela vive em Lisboa. We'll just talk about this verb, how we use the other verbs in Portuguese also, and this is called the verb viver, right? Viver means to live, and if I have to write here, let's see, here we are using the verb viver. So viver means to live, right? So, and when we use it, or when we conjugate it with ela, that means she is a pronoun which change it to vive. How we change it and how we work with the verb, we will see on next session. Here our main objective is to understand the pronoun, right? So ela means she. So we can say ela vive em Lisboa. So I means it is a preposition. That means we can say she lives in Lisbon. So Lisboa is a capital of Portugal. This Lisboa is a noun, and we are saying she lives in Lisbon, right? And if we go here, ela ensina português, right? She teaches Portuguese. That means she is a Portuguese teacher, right? Ensina also the verb. So if I go to the ensina, it is the verb ensinar, okay? Ensinar. Ensinar means to teach. So when we use ensinar with ela, we change it to ensina. It is like kind of a verb form in English, but not actually. We say it the conjugation. Okay, conjugation. What is conjugation? We will we will see about it as well today after after some 2 or 3 pronouns. And here we can say ela now ensina español. So here we are using now to make the sentence negative, right? So remember, whenever we want to make the sentence negative, we use now. That normally means no, okay? Sorry. Excuse me. So here you can say ela now ensina. Here ensina is a verb, and if you see that we put the word now before the verb. So whenever you want to make the sentence negative, then simply put now before the verb. Okay, notice this. I have noticed that most of the beginners sometime put now anywhere in the sentence. For example, ela ensina now español, maybe. So, but remember, normally or usually we use the word now to make the sentence negative, and we put it or we keep it before the verb, right? Ela now ensina español. That means she does not teach Spanish, right? She does not teach Spanish because she is a Portuguese teacher, right? Similarly, here you can say ela é a professora simpática. Remember this word, professora simpática, because after then we will talk about the male, and here you can see médico simpático. So when it is a masculine noun, we use the different form of the adjective as well. So here you can see ela é a professora simpática. Simpática means a very nice, very kind, right? Very helpful. You can use it in any sense, but it normally means that she is a wonderful teacher, she is a very helpful teacher, or she is a nice teacher as a whole. So here, to replace this ima is name, right? Ima is a name. And when we talk about the name, if we say ima viva em Lisboa, ima ensina português, so normally we don't use. So we use some words that replaces this word. For example, here is ela. So that's why this ela is a pronoun. Okay, so we use pronoun frequently in simpática means you can see nice. Okay, for example, o senhor Hari é simpático. That means Hari sir is very kind, very good, very nice person, right? So if you want to give the compliment to someone who is helpful, who is good, and you can use the word simpático and simpática. Remember, this simpática you say for the females, and for males you say simpático. Okay, in Portuguese we use the words differently for male and female, right? So I hope you got this one, that when to make sentences, the first we need subject and then maybe we need verb, of course, and then it depends. We may need some preposition and then object, and normally it can be a noun. So in these simple sentences, we understand the sentence structure in Portuguese, right? And we use pronoun. We use pronoun frequently while speaking. We use, right, but as a beginner it is better to use pronoun, and that pronoun replaces the noun. So ela is a pronoun, that means she, and we use this pronoun to say, or to say about, or to talk about, or to represent a female or a feminine noun. Okay, so we can see, and everybody is clear here, right? Any questions you can ask, and then we will go to the male. So here the objective is that, the first objective is that in Portuguese, so if we have to say he, ele means he, and if you see here, when we say she, it is ela, ele, ela, ela é a professora, and here we say ele trabalha no hospital, or we can say ele é o médico, right? He is the doctor. So here we can see Rick é o médico. The name of the person is Rick, and as médico is a masculine noun, we use the article o, which we already studied in our last session, right? So we say Rick é o médico. Rick is a doctor, right? Rick is a doctor, and you can say ele trabalha no hospital. So here you can see you can see the preposition again, because we are talking about the place that where he works. So we can say ele trabalha no hospital. He works in the hospital. Of course, the doctor works in the hospital, right? Ele examina. If you see here, these all are the verbs. Like here we have some verbs: viver, ensinar. So if I go here, we can identify the verb. So it is a good idea that when we learn about the pronouns, we learn something about the verbs or some sentence structure, right? So here we say a means is. This is the ser verb. Ser means to be verb in Portuguese. Don't worry, we will learn about ser verb just after this slide. And then we can say trabalhar, right? We can say trabalha. This is the verb of trabalhar, right? So here we say ele trabalha. This is the verb form that we use with ele. Okay, so the process of changing this verb form is called the conjugation. So but here we are focusing on the ele. Ele means he, and here ela means she. So our main objective is to understand the pronoun perfectly, right? And because if we understand this pronoun perfectly, then we can understand some other types of pronouns as well. So trabalha means trabalhar, that means to work. To work, right? Trabalhar means to work. And here what does he do? So ele examina os doentes. Doentes means, you can see the patients or the people who are sick, right? So what does doctor do? So ele examina. So examina here again is a verb. Examina, and it is the examinar. That means to examine or to test, right? The doctor examines the patients, right? If you go to the hospital, the doctor checks you. And if I go to the hospital, of course, the doctor checks me, right? That's perfect. And ele examina os doentes. So here you see the doentes. We again use os. Why we use article us here? Who can answer? If somebody can answer, I'll be very happy. Okay, so ele examina os doentes. We use only the article here, but here we use the preposition no hospital. That means in the hospital, right? Yes, anybody can say me why it is os doentes here? Why we use the article os? So this is very important in Portuguese that we understand the articles, right? And what I have covered in my first live session, right? I was a bit nervous, still not very but it will give you some idea about the articles, okay? So here you can see ele não é o professor. So again, here you can see we use now before the verb. So when you want to make the sentences negative, always use usually use now before the verb. Ele, you can see, ele é o médico. He is a doctor. Ele não é o professor. He is not a teacher, or he is not the teacher, whatever you want to say, okay? And ele é médico simpático. He is a nice doctor. So here, when we talk about the feminine or female, we use professora simpática. And here we use médico simpático. So normally adjectives, when we use the adjectives, they also changed according to the gender. If we are talking about the male or female or feminine or masculine, okay? So here the objective is that to pronounce the word perfectly, it is L, okay? L, L, and here it is ela, 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 right? Ela means she, we use for the female, and ele means he, which we use for the male. Okay? So let's go to here now. This one is this pronoun is a very important pronoun because mostly we do some mistakes on elas and elas. There are two different ways to say they in Portuguese. One is elas and another one is elas. Both means they, right? So when we use elas and when we use elas, that is a question and we should have to clear it, right? And I will try my best to make you very, very clear on this. Okay, that's cool. So let's say here, and just a moment, that's cool. Yeah, so here you can see, we will come to here later. Let's first go to L. Here we are talking about the plural. So when we talk about the plural, the verb forms also changed, and our we can say that our pronoun also changed. Here a ima means one of the girl, maybe ima here, and e means and. O João means one of the boy is João, we can guess. São estudantes, are students. So here when we talk about the single, we use a, and there we use são. So these are the verb forms, we can say, right? Normally we say verb conjugation, and here são means we can say are, right? Are. So here we can say a Ima e João são estudantes. Ima and João are students. Okay, they are students. Estudantes means students. Estudante means student, right? And here you can say elas estudam. Estudam. This estudam means we can say they study, right? We can say they study, right? And the verb is estudar. Estudar. Estudar means to study, okay? Estudar means to study. So we can say that elas estudam na escola. They study, right, in the school. So here they study in the school, we can say, right? And here you can say eles aprendem todos os dias. Here again, aprendai means Aprendai means to study or to learn, right? To learn, we can say. But here the main verb is aprender, right? And it means to learn. So that means they learn. And todos os dias. Todos os dias means every day. So by this step by step, we can progress our Portuguese, right? So we can say todos os dias. That means every day. So elas aprendem todos os dias. And here aprendem is a form of a verb aprender. Aprender means to study. And elas também, here again the new word também. Thank you very much for your likes, guys. That's cool. If elas também means also. You can say also. Elas também são bons amigos. They are also good students. Good friends, right? They are also good friends. So here they are students, they are good friends. And we can say elas são altos. They are tall. So here you can see, if I have to say he is tall. Hi Himal, hola, tudo bem? So if you want to say he is tall, this is a very important note for you. If you want to say he is tall, we say ele é alto. That means he is tall, right? Ele é alto. That means he is tall. But when we change it to plural, we say elas, and we say são, and we say altos. So that means here, this is a very important learning in Portuguese. When we change from singular to plural, not only the verb form, but we also change some types of adjectives, right? Eles são altos. They are tall. So here is alto and here is altos. So we have to change to the plural everything when we make it plural, right? So alto means tall. Let's write here alto. Alto means tall. And here, what is our objective? Our objective is that if we have to say she, if we have to say she, it is ela, right? And that replaces the noun, single noun of the female, right? Of the female or feminine. And if we have to say he, that is ele, and that replaces the masculine noun or male. And if we have to say eles, that means it replaces they, right? When we have to say they, we say eles. So ele means he, ela means she, and eles means they. These are the basic pronouns in singular and plural. And you may wonder here that when we say ele é alto and eles são altos. So before we go to the other pronouns, let's try to understand this verb, how and why we use verb in Portuguese. So we'll talk about the verbs in detail in next live session. So verbs are very important in European Portuguese. So before I go to verb, if you have any questions here, you can ask to me, guys, okay? About the pronoun ele, ela, and eles. Ele means he, ele trabalha no hospital, and ela means she for the feminine, right? Ela ensina português, and we can say elas for the they. And when we use elas for the they, we will check it later, okay? Hi Himal. It's nice to see you guys here. Right, don't forget to like, guys, okay? You have to like, don't forget to like the video if you like. That will be great help for me, and it will also, thank you very much, Anushka. So here we got, right? So let's go to see that. If you see here, we say a Ima e o João são. They are. And if I go here, we say Ima é. That means Ima is. And if I go here, I say Rick é. And though the verb is trabalhar, we say ele trabalha. So how the verb work? From Bharat, that's nice to see you. Anushka from Bharat, right? Nice. So let's go here. And if you see here, this is one of the most important part for the beginners, right? So we can, the first thing we have to know is that the nouns and then pronoun and then verb, how verb works, right? So here you can see how verb works in European Portuguese or any Portuguese, right? So here you can see Rick é o médico. So if we see the part of speech here, these all every terms are called part of speech, right? Parts of speech. So that means when we talk, we have different part. And you can see here that I have made a table. If I say Rick é o médico, Rick is a noun, right? Rick is a noun. That means the name. Noun simply indicates or give identity of something or some person or some people or anything, right? So here you can see Rick is a noun and a is a verb. That means is. Rick is. And u is an article and medico is again the noun. That shows the profession, right? And here if you see the verb, if I say Rick é o médico, right? And if I have to say I am a doctor, not I am not, or if I say I am not a doctor, then I say eu não sou médico, right? I am not a doctor. So I can say eu não sou médico, or I can say eu não sou o médico, I am not the doctor, or you can just simply say eu não sou médico, I am not doctor, right? So here again I use now. But if I say I am a doctor, then you can say here so. So here if we say Rick is, we use a, and when I say I am, I use so. So eu sou and Rick a, right? So let's see here how it works. If we see the pronoun here, you can see eu means I, tu means you, você also means you, and in Portuguese we use the pronoun tu and você to say you in different context, normally in formal situation and in informal situation with friends and family, right? Tu we use in informal situations, to friends and families, for some close people around us, and você normally we use in formal context, that means in offices or someone whom we don't know properly, right? And here you say that ser means verb, that means to be verb in English, is, am, are, and something like this. And here this is called the base verb. This is called the base verb. And here I have taken two verbs. One is ser, that means to be, and one is trabalhar, that means to work. And if you see here, ele trabalha no hospital. He works in the hospital, right? And if you say eu means I, tu means you in informal situation or informal context, você means also you in formal context normally, ele means he, ela means she, elas or elas we use for they, normally elas we say for the for everyone, and elas we say for the feminine group only, where there are only feminine words or only the feminine people, only the girls or women or somewhat feminines, right? Vocês means to say you in plural. For example, vocês. Vocês estão aqui, right? You are here. Vocês estão aqui. You are here. and we say nós. And this ser verb is changed to sou, eu sou, and we say eu sou means I am, to s, you are, and you can also say você é to say you are, or you can say ele é, he is, and you can say ela é, she is, and you can also say eles são, they are, and vocês são, you all are, and nós somos, we are, right? So this is called the verb conjugation. The main verb is ser, to be, and when we use it with the pronouns or subjects, we change it, right? So you can say eu sou, who are you? If you want to say your profession, you can say eu sou. For example, eu sou, who am I? I can say anything, right? I can say eu sou Niques. I am Niques, right? That means my name. Or I can say that eu sou Português, right? I am Portuguese. Or I can say eu sou Nepalese. I am Nepali. So whatever we are, we use this, eu sou. And I can say tu es. For example, here now someone is from India, so I can say tu es Indiana if you are a female, tu es Indiano if you are a male. So how can you say introduce yourself? Can you try to write on the chat box, guys, that eu sou, who are you, what do you do? So for example, here I can say ele é o médico, he is the doctor. If I am doctor, I say eu sou o médico, I am the doctor. Or I am simply say eu sou médico, I am doctor. Okay, so here if you see the verbs, and this process is called verb conjugation. Okay, what is called? Verb conjugation. That means we conjugate the verb according to the subject. Okay, we conjugate the verb according to the subject. And if you see in this part of speech, we are using here ser verb, that means a, because Rick or any name, it comes here with he and she, singular, third person, right? And we say a. So we can say Rick é o médico. Rick is a doctor. Okay, Rick is a doctor. And similarly, you can say, if we go to the trabalhar, means to work, that is the base verb. Okay, this is the base verb. And then when we use it with the pronouns or subjects, eu sou Harichandra Pathak. Yes, that's cool. That is your identity. That is your introduction, right? Eu sou Harichandra Pathak. That's wonderful. So here, when we use trabalhar, then we say trabalho. Eu trabalho. And tu trabalhas. And you can say você trabalha. For example, here I am saying ele trabalha no hospital, right? Ele trabalha no hospital. So how can you say that where you work? Can you try it, guys? Where do you work? Onde trabalhas, or onde trabalha, or I can say onde trabalham. That is the three different way, right? I can ask you onde trabalhas, means where do you work? Or I can say onde trabalha, where do you work? Or I can say onde trabalham, right? Where do you work? Both three things says that where do you work? And you can simply say eu trabalho, and then where do you work? You can use I, na or no. Don't worry about it right now. These are the prepositions we use to say at, in or on. But for now, onde trabalhas means onde tu trabalhas, right? Where do you work? Onde trabalha means onde você trabalha. And onde trabalham means onde vocês trabalham, right? So here we are saying in the two different ways, three different ways. Onde trabalhas, we are using tu, right? Onde trabalhas, onde tu trabalhas, right? Where do you work? And when we say onde trabalha, we are saying onde você trabalha? Where do you work? And if I am using onde vocês trabalham, that means I am using you all. Where do you all work? So if I ask you any of these three questions, then what could be your answer? Can you try to write? Or if you have question, guys, you can ask me so that I can help you to understand it. This is a very important thing, the verb conjugation. And don't worry now, maybe you are worried right now, some of you, that oh, we have to remember these all things, it's so complicated. Not actually. There are certain rules to memorize them, or there are certain rules that all verb follows, and it is very easy for us to conjugate, to memorize it and conjugate. Okay, for example, if you see here, trabalho, this is the AR. There are some different types of verbs. Some are AR verbs, IR verbs, ER verbs, lots of regular verbs in Portuguese which follow the same pattern or same rule to conjugate. And once you get it, eu trabalho em Lisboa. That's cool, right? That's how you say, Mustafa. That's wonderful. Eu trabalho em Lisboa. I work in Lisbon. That's cool. Or you can, here you are focusing, or you are saying the, you can say the place, right? Or the city where you work. That's good. For example, me, eu trabalho em Glasgow, right? I work in Glasgow. So you can say like this. Nós trabalhamos no hospital. That's wonderful, right? We work in the hospital. That's nice. So this is how we make, right? We just try to, we have to use this table first to practice. But once you do practice, then you can easily got the verb forms. Okay, I have also the decoding Portuguese verb series on YouTube, and you can go there and you can learn verbs in brief or in detail there, and it will help you how easy is to make the or to conjugate the verbs. It looks hard, but it's really easy. Yeah, eu trabalho na construção de uma casa. That's cool. That's cool. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. That's nice. Yeah, it's correct. It's perfect. That's perfect, right? So you can say eu trabalho na construção, right? Because you work in the construction, right? That's fine. That's fine. As a beginner, that's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sentence. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy for your progress, Hari sir. Okay, so you got it, guys, all. Any questions you have, you can ask me. Okay, so remember that verbs, here normally you have to remember that when we make a sentence, we use the subject, verb, and object. Meanwhile, we need to use some articles, maybe some adjectives, or maybe some prepositions here. These all are called part of speech, and we will have a detailed session later on about the part of speech, which is very, very important to understand the sentence structure in any language. Okay, so anybody has questions, you can ask me. If not, then let's take a break for 1 minute. Not actually, right? So just try to understand all these verbs, that's it, and try to understand the sentences and how one can ask you the question, right? Onde tu trabalhas, right? Where do you work? Eu trabalho no hospital, right? I work in hospital. Or you can say eu trabalho na loja. I work in the shop. Or wherever you work. Eu trabalho no restaurante. I work in the restaurant. And you can say, for example, here, Mustafa trabalha, because Mustafa we use here, Mustafa trabalha no hospital. Mustafa works in hospital, right? You got it, guys? That's cool. Yeah, that's nice. Let's go ahead. We have lots of things to go, right? So here let's see the elas, when we use elas, because we before we see here that elas estudam na escola, they study in the school. So here if you see, let me give you the demo. Estudam is the verb estudar, to study, right? To study. So if you see here in this table, right, if I have to use this verb estudar, if you see, they are the same. Estudar ends with AR and trabalhar ends with AR. So like trabalhar, I can conjugate this estudar as well. So how can I conjugate? Let's see here. It will be good learning as well. So let's say here that eu estudo. Tu estudas. Eu estudo, I study. Tu estudas, you study. And you can say, okay, ciao, ciao, ciao. Okay, senor, cha brico. I don't understand cha bris. Okay, senor, ciao or sa? Oh, sa brick? That's okay, muito bem. Você quer o pausa de, você quer uma pausa, não é? That's good. You would need some break. That's cool. So trabalha, and you can say here, ele estuda, and you can say here estudam, and you can say here estudamos. So here you can see, eu trabalho, I work, eu estudo, I study. Tu trabalhas, you work, tu estudas, you study, right? And você trabalha, you work in formal context, você estuda, you study in formal context, right? Similarly, you can say ele trabalha, he studies, and you can say ele estuda. Sorry, ele trabalha, he works, ele estuda, he studies, right? Similarly, eles trabalham, they work, and can say eles estudam, right? They study. And nós trabalhamos, we work, and we can say nós estudamos. So if you see here, they are the same. So nothing different, right? Trabalho, estudo. If you remove this AR from here and AR from here, and then it's the same. Here we add O, right? It is the same. If we add here O, and here also we add O. Here we add AS. Here we add AS. Here we add A. Here also we add A. Here we add AM, and here we add AM as well. And here we add AMOS, and here we also add AMOS. So it looks like difficult, all are received, but when we do the conjugation, they follow the same pattern sometime, and it is easy, right? To make the conjugation, if you see anything ends with AR, for example, trabalhar and estudar. So we just remove this AR and we add O with eu trabalho, eu estudo. And we add AS with tu trabalhas, tu estudas. And we just add A, then we say ele trabalha, ele estuda. He works, he studies. And with here eles, we add AM, and we say eles trabalham, eles estudam. Sempre AMOS, and we say nós trabalhamos and nós estudamos, right? Hi Rasib, how are you? How are you doing? You understand, guys? If you don't understand, please ask me, okay? Though this is not the scope for today, but at least we have some idea, because when we make sentences, we need this noun, verb, right? Subject, verb, article sometime if you need, and then object. So here, and the verbs is changed like this. We'll talk about the verbs conjugation detail in next live session, but for today, just to give you some idea about the verbs. Okay, got it, Rasif? Where are you from, Rasif? How are you doing? Any questions? You can ask me here. If you have any things that you got confused or you want to clarify me, then I will do clarify on it. Okay. I don't understand. What you don't understand? If you go to the, because maybe you just join it later on, that's why. Here let's make it very simple again, that Rick means the name, A means the verb, U is the article, and medico is also the noun, which means doctor. So when we have to say Rick is a doctor or Rick is the doctor, then we say Rick a o medico. So here Rick is a noun which we have already covered in last session. If you missed it, you can see on the live playlist, and there you can see the first session. And A is the verb which we will learn next day, I mean next live session. And U is article, right? So we have that means just the article, because medico is a term noun or the profession, that means doctor, so we use O. And we are talking about here that this A, how this A comes, right? So this A means is, and its base verb is ser. This is a verb, to be verb in Portuguese. So when it is a main verb, it changes according to the pronoun. So eu, it changes to so. With tu means you, it changes to s. And with você means you, ele, ela, elas, elas. And this means você means you, ele means he, ela means she, and elas and elas means they. When we use it with he, she, and you in formal context, it changes to a. So here Rick is a singular noun. Here you can say singular third person, right? So we are saying Rick a, because we change this verb form in different ways according to the subject or pronoun. Okay, Rasif? And so we change it. And if we have to say that I am a doctor, you say eu sou médico. I am a doctor, right? If you want to say you are a doctor, you can say tu és o médico. You are the doctor, and like this. Okay, and similarly here for the other verbs, ele trabalha no hospital. Here this verb is trabalha. The base verb is trabalhar, right? Trabalhar means to work, and when we use it with the I mean here pronouns or subject, it changes accordingly. Eu trabalho, I work, and tu trabalhas, and something. Okay, so yeah, we will come to tensor. First you have to understand this sentence structure, right? Yeah, so you said that you don't understand this. So this is the tense, because now I am talking about the present tense, right? So first, when we understand the present tense, then we can easily understand past and future tenses, because we just need to change the verbs. That's why this is the present tense, right? You can say that this is a present tense subject. So we are talking about the present tense, and when the verb ser, to be, is changed with according to the articles, okay, hi Ram, and it changes to like so. These all are the simple present, okay? These all are the simple present. So when we have to change it to the past, we have the different way. So you can say, Rasif, that we are now learning the simple present, okay? Okay guys, that's it. But now we are going for the another. Here you can say elas trabalham, right? Maria e Ana são empregadas de mesa. Empregadas de mesa means what does this mean? So here we are using sound. If you go here, that means in plural we use sound here, right? So they are. So we are saying here Maria e Ana são empregadas de mesa. That means we can say waitress, right? Let me write on here, right? Empregada de mesa means waitress, right? They are waitress. Okay, so when they are waitress, right? And if they are waiters, then we say empregado de mesa, right? With changes. So here empregada de mesa means waitress. So Maria e Ana são empregadas de mesa. Maria and Ana are waitress. Elas. So when there is a feminine group, that means the female group, to say they, we use elas. Okay, before we use here elas, right? Elas aprendem. When there is a male group or mixed group, male and female, we use elas to say they. And when it is only the feminine group, we say elas. Okay, so elas trabalham. And if we go to the table again, here you can see elas trabalham means here, right? Elas trabalham. Elas trabalham. They work. So you can see here elas trabalham. So we say elas trabalham no restaurante, right? They work in the restaurant. Not elas recebem os pedidos. That means they receive or they take orders, right? They take orders from the customers. So we can say elas recebem os pedidos. Pedidos means order. So like this, when we learn the sentences, we have to make some vocabularies, right? Pedidos means orders. You can simply say orders. So receber means, that is also the verb, receber. And you can say elas são empregadas bem comportadas. Comportada means very nice, well behaved, with the very good manner. Okay, so these are the words. When we learn something, we have to learn vocabularies as well. So here we are learning the pronoun especially, but in meantime we are trying to get some vocabularies, right? So we can say elas são empregadas. They are the staffs, right? Bem comportadas, very good behaved staffs. They are very good behaved employees. And elas são pontuais. Pontuais means punctual, right? Pontuais means punctual. They are punctual. Okay, so any questions here? If you have any questions how to use elas and elas, you can ask. Okay, because we are using here elas and we are using here elas. Why we doing this? You have to be very clear on this. Okay, so let me take this out from here and I can take it here, right? Here we can say, if we compare these two pictures, right? Let me compare these two pictures. Here you can see we say elas são estudantes. They are students. And here I am saying elas são empregadas de mesa. Here I can say elas são empregadas de mesa. They are. So when we use elas and when we use elas, you have to be very clear, right? You all are clear, guys? Hi Hari sir, you are still in tea break? That's cool, right? So you understand, right, how when we use elas and when we use elas to say they. tenses in Portuguese. Yeah, in channel all tenses Portuguese. Yeah, I have also a video of all tenses of regular, regular, irregular verbs. Yeah, 30 irregular verbs. You can go and check here. Right, it is on the maybe in verb section. You can just try it. You can just find it on the list, and there are some irregular verbs conjugations. Okay, and these all are called. For example, these are the pronouns, and this is called the conjugation, right? Verb conjugation means to change the verb form according to the subject. Okay, so it's clean, right, the guys? Everybody, you are clear here? Okay, then that's cool. And when I have to use estou de volta, senhor. Okay, muito bem, muito obrigado. O meu nome é Rick, right? So here now we are trying to say how to say I, right? We say before, here we say she, and here we say he, and here we say they, and here also we say they for the feminine groups. And then now how can we say I? So you can say o meu nome é Rick. My name is Rick, right? So when we have to introduce, this is a very important phrase, right? So whenever you come to any place, the first thing you have to say that o meu nome é something something. For example, if somebody asks you, okay, let me answer. Can you answer me this question then? It will help you to practice. If somebody say qual é o seu nome, or qual é o teu nome, or como te chamas, or como se chama. So whatever questions come, you have to answer, right? So how can you answer the question? So any of the question here, you can simply say this one, o meu nome, and then a, and then whatever your name is. So let me ask you, qual é o seu nome? Or como se chama? How can I call you? Yes, guys, right? Who writes the answer? I will provide some exercise sheets, guys. Okay, so if you involve whoever involve a lot, and then I will provide exercise sheets for you so that you can do exercises, right? So it is very important that when we learn, we involve, right? So how can you answer the question? Como te chamas? Or qual é o seu nome? Right? We can simply say o meu nome é, and then we can keep our name, right? So o meu nome é Nick, o meu nome é Rick, and then when we have to say I, we say eu. Eu sou. If you see the table here, it is eu sou, right? So you can say eu sou jogador de futebol. I am a football player, right? And we can say o meu nome, you missed the verb, o meu nome é Harichandra, right? You just missed the verb here. You have to use the ser verb, and you can say o meu nome é Harichandra, right? That will help, that will be perfect then. Okay? So eu jogo futebol, I play football. Eu treino todos os dias, I train or I do practice every day. Os meus amigos são ótimos. My friends are great. So here you can see o meu nome. This is also important. So when we have to say that my name, we say o meu nome. But when we have to say my friends, then we say os meus amigos. We change the article to plural. We change the possessive pronoun to plural, or possessive adjectives, whatever you want to say now. And we also change that amigo to amigos, the noun, to plural. So remember, so everything is changed in Portuguese according to the gender and we can say numbers, right? Masculine or feminine or singular or plural. So here it is singular, so we say o meu nome. That's perfect, Hari sir. O meu nome é. But here it is plural, so we say os meus amigos são ótimos. My friends are great, right? So if you want to say I, you simply say eu. For example, you can say o meu nome é Nikis, eu sou de Portugal, naturalmente eu sou do Nepal, right? Eu sou de Portugal, I am from Portugal. Naturalmente eu sou do Nepal. Naturally I am from Nepal, right? And I can say that eu jogo futebol now. Eu não jogo futebol, right? I don't play football. Eu não jogo futebol. So again, when we make it negative, we use now before the verb. Eu jogo futebol. I play football. Eu não jogo futebol. I do not play football, right? I do not play football. You got it? You got it, guys? My lovely persons, how you doing, right? So, eu jogo futebol, eu não jogo futebol, right? I play football, I do not play football. If you want to make a question, put the question mark, right? And if you want to say you play football, then you can simply say tu jogas futebol. So we'll coming in this, right? So we use the verb, different verb forms to say eu jogo, tu jogas, and something like this, okay? So here simply when you have to say that I, you use eu. Eu, that is very important, okay? Eu sou jogador, eu sou nepalês, eu sou português, eu sou indiano, eu sou whatever you want, eu sou do Paquistão, eu sou da Romania, and whenever or wherever you want to say I, you use eu. That's cool. So look at here now, and maybe you understand the things. Tu means you, right? It is nothing. Tu means you. Eu não jogo futebol. Yeah, that's correct. That's nice. I do not play football, right? Eu não jogo futebol. That's wonderful. So here you can say, now if we have to say you, that means tu, right? Tu means you. And we use this tu very, very frequently in Portugal. You means, tu means you, right? Tu means you. And we use this in informal context, right? Informal context. And normally we use it with the friends and family, right? And we use with in yeah, that is what we use, or any closed people, right? To whom or yeah, so we use mostly in daily conversation in Portugal, right? In Portugal we mostly use in daily conversation. Yeah, Lokrat sir, eu sou do Nepal. Eu sou bhaycha, there is eu sou do Nepal, right? Eu sou do Nepal. That's good, right? And you can say, for example, now Sinor Lokrat said me that eu sou do Nepal. So how can I say that, hey, you are from Nepal? So if I have to say, then I simply say tu és, you are do Nepal, right? You are from Nepal. Or I can say o senhor Lokrat é do Nepal. Lokrat sir is from Nepal, right? This is how we use. And here our objective is that to say you, we can use tu, or we can use você. So here you can see, if I take this all from here to this slide, here you can see both are same, meaning it's same. Você é empregado, you are an employee. Tu és empregado, you are an employee. Same thing. Você trabalha na loja. You work in the shop. Tu trabalhas na loja. You work in the shop. The same meaning, right? Você vende telemóveis. You sell mobile phones. Tu vendes telemóveis. So you sell mobile phone. Você fala com os clientes. You talk with the clients. Tu falas com os clientes. You talk to the clients. Você trabalha todos os dias. You work every day. Tu trabalhas todos os dias. You work every day. So in Portuguese, você and tu both means you, right? This both means you. Oh, muito obrigado. Ok? Muito obrigado para Murginho, não é? Muito bem. Muito obrigado, Senhor Hari. We can see here eu codinho, right? Similarly here, we see here, right? If you go to this verb, so when you say eu, it should be u. You can see here, eu trabalho, right? For example, eu trabalho. So whenever you say something with you have to use u. So you can say eu cozinho todos os dias, right? Eu cozinho, you can simply say eu cozinho o jantar todos os dias. That is the best way, right? So similarly here you can say we are here. Where we are here, right? You can say that you, that's good. When you write, then I can correct you. Eu cozinho, right? O jantar todos os dias. That means I cook the dinner every day, right? So it means like this. Eu sou trabalha a restaurante. Eu sou trabalhador. You can say eu sou trabalhador, or you can say eu trabalho no restaurante. That is better even. Eu trabalho no restaurante, right? Eu trabalho no restaurante. I work in the restaurant, right? Eu trabalho no restaurante. That is better. Okay, Lokra sir, that's cool. And here, você and tu are same. Just remember, we use você for the formal context and we use tu for informal context or with friends and family, close friends, and so on. Okay, I hope you got it. And at last and most, we have the nos. Nos means we. When we talk about we say nos. Nós somos amigos. We are friends. Nós somos portugueses. We are Portuguese. Nós vivemos no Porto. We live in Porto. Nós encontramos-nos no parque. We meet each other, we can say. We meet ourselves or we meet each other at park. Nós somos amigáveis. We are very friendly. So here nos means we. Okay, nos means we. And here is the same thing that if we make a sentence, we have to be very careful on the sentence structure. We have a noun, which we have already. Eu bebo, Lokras sir. Always when it is you say eu bebo, okay? You can say eu bebo sumo de laranja. Maybe you want to say this. So I drink orange juice, right? So here you can say Rick é o médico. Noun, verb, article, and noun we use like this, right? And you can say, I can see the recent one. I don't know. Okay, that's fine. So here we can say Rick é o médico, and here we can say ele trabalha no hospital. So here ele is pronoun. Somos nepaleses, that's cool, right? sorry. Here Rick is noun, L is pronoun, A is verb, trabalha is also verb, U is article, nu is preposition, and hospital is noun, and médico is noun. So this is normally the structure we use to make sentences in European Portuguese or any Portuguese. So if you have any question, you can ask. And here you can see the same table like I have said before, right? So how we use the verb. So you can say trabalha, right? Ela trabalha, eu trabalho, tu trabalhas, right? Ele, ela, você trabalha, elas trabalham, and nós trabalhamos. So we can we can conjugate the verb according to the subject like this. Okay. And if you see the table, right, you can see the table here I made again, maybe I later a bit smaller. So here you can see the verb ser and verb trabalhar. I have the table here, and we change it forms according to the noun and pronoun or subject, right? So here again the last recap is that eu means I. In Portuguese, we use the different pronouns, and if I have to say I, that means eu, and to say I am, I say eu sou. To say you are, I say tu és. Or even I can say você é, you are, right? Similarly, to say he is, I can say ele é, she is, ela é. And to say they are, we say elas são. But if there is only the feminine group, we say elas são, right? Elas, elas. Elas means for the mix or any group, and elas we have to use only when there are feminine group. And vocês são, you all, and I can say nós somos, that means we are, right? Similarly here, I can say eu trabalho, I work. Você, tu trabalhas, you work. You can say você trabalha, that means also you work in bit formal context. And ele trabalha, he works. Ela trabalha, she works. And elas trabalham means they work. And nós trabalhamos means we work. And for last recap here you can say eu sou cozinheiro. I am a cook. Eu trabalho no restaurante. I work in the restaurant. Ele é o meu amigo. He is my friend. Ele trabalha no trabalho. Ele trabalha no supermercado, right? It's a Friday 6, okay? Friday 6 p.m. Mustafa, okay? I'll be live on TikTok also on Friday 6 p.m. Okay, every Friday 6 p.m. And so we can use it like this. Okay, guys, so that's all for today. If you have any questions, you can ask. And before we say bye-bye, here is a very important tips for you. ¿Cómo está? How are you? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Both mean same, but now you may understand that ¿cómo está means we are using você, and ¿cómo estás means we are using tú. For example, if you see here, ¿cómo está você? How are you? ¿Cómo estás tú? How are you? Okay, so how to ask the question, how we answer, and all these we will see again in next live session. Yeah, today is a bit better than I think on last live. Last live I was very nervous. Today is also still nervous, right? But I will try my best to be to provide you some good materials to good learning in future.